Welcome to Body Moves for Life. This is John Archer, and today we're going to talk a little bit about things we can do on the mat from our hands and knees. So let's go ahead and get started looking at perhaps some things that may be easier than you realized. We're often doing work, perhaps in this position, working on something on the floor, or sometimes we have to squat down, and this makes us tired, so we'll get on our knees or maybe hands and knees. Well, sometimes there's an issue of balance here. So a basic balance drill that we can do is balancing on one knee. We're going to lift the foot forward and then put the foot in front and then put the foot back. So here is a basic balance drill that we can do. And as you see, once I put the foot forward, I'm going into a lunge. Okay, and then a lunge. We can add one more step to this. After the lunge, we can reach forward and straighten, stretching the hamstring here. And then once again, lunge, straighten, stretch the hamstring, and back. So this is basically something that we're doing here in a straight line, but let's also look at the 45 angle. Same concept. So I'm going to put the foot out, lunge, straighten, and then lunge again and back. So let me do that one on the other side. Foot out, lunge, straight leg, lunge, and back. One more time. Foot out to the 45, lunge, straight, lunge, back, and lunge, straight, lunge, back. Okay, those were the 45 angles. Now let's look at the 90-degree angles. This is kind of interesting because this knee here is going to stay forward, but I'm going to really open here and have this foot completely at 90 degrees. So here's the lunge, okay? Here's the toe touch, here's the lunge, and back. And then to the other side, lunge, toe touch, lunge, and back. One more time, lunge, toe touch, lunge, back, lunge. As you do the toe touch, go ahead and reach with your arms and kind of point your head towards where you're going. Lunge to make it smooth and go back. Now everything we've done is still somewhat a matter of balance because we haven't been putting our hands on the floor. So that's a really good thing to do kind of as we're warming up because it helps us to get our equilibrium and move towards harder things. So now, but we will put our hands on the floor to do some of these more challenging movements, which are not so hard, but they're just different and do require some support by the hand, kind of like a tripod. So basically, I'm going to start out here on the 45. I can do the lunge, but what I'm going to do is put the hands down, take this back leg, straighten it out, and roll the hip over. As you can see, this back leg is straight, toe is pointed up, and here's my toe touch here. So before, we did lunge, and we did the toe touch here. But now as I'm lunging forward, I'm going to roll the hip over. The toe touch is on the back leg. And then go back to the lunge and then back to the middle. So I'm going to lunge, hands down, roll the back leg over, straightening it out with the heel up, toe touch, hands down, roll back to the lunge. And here, so fluidly, that would be like lunge, toe touch, lunge, back, lunge, toe touch, lunge, back. Notice that I didn't touch the toe. Touching the toe is good, but notice that I'm really getting the stretch. That would be the same as the toe touch. By straightening the leg, sitting into this stretch. If you want to reach for it, I think it's good because it really completes the stretch. I tend to not do that. You can from here go into another toe touch if you're really working on the hamstrings. So what that would look like is the following. Lunge, toe touch. As I go back to the knee here, toe touch, and back. Lunge, roll the hip over, toe touch, back to the knee. Toe touch, back. One more time. Lunge, roll the hip, toe touch, and back, lunge, toe touch, and back. Now, as we work on this angle to the 90 here, it's very similar, but it will feel very differently because we're really opening up. And so, as I open up to the side here, I do the lunge. Now I'm going to roll the hip, and I'm pretty much in a straight line here, and I'm trying to keep this toe out to this side. And this little twist here in the ankle and the foot gives a nice stretch on the bottom of the foot and the inside of the ankle, which I really like. Okay, and then you can come back to a toe touch here if you like, and then back to the middle. So foot out to the side, hands down. Take this back leg and straighten it, roll it over. There's the toe touch. Now I didn't get this foot really like I was supposed to because I want to try to keep it this way. Sometimes it's hard to do, so I'm going to see if I can mostly leave it there. Okay, and now there's that stretch across the bottom of my foot and my ankle. Okay, and then another toe touch here, and then back to the middle. Okay, and then you can begin to work some different combinations and even kind of run these together. Each time I've come back to the middle, and then the other one and back to the middle. You don't really have to come back to the middle. You can just flow from one side to the next. So what that would look like if I go to the 45s would be lunge, straight leg in the back. Now instead of coming to the knees here, I guess it is coming to the middle, but I'm going to just come to my feet and then do lunge and then straighten the back. Let me do that again. That's not exactly what I wanted to do. So as I come to the middle, I'm going to come here and work on this back hamstring. Then come to the middle and work on the back hamstring. So that's what I wanted to look at there on the 45s. And then this is the one where I say you don't really come back to the middle. We're just going to put our feet on either side of the middle, and we're just going to go back and forth. So as I start on the 90 and straighten this leg, I'm going to leave this leg over here, leave this foot pointed, and come back into this hamstring stretch here. Leave this one pointed, and come into this one, and here. And from here, you can also roll over into the lunge, go to the hamstring, and into the other hamstring. Going to the other side with the hamstring, roll over into the lunge, and straighten the leg for the hamstring. So it looks like this: hamstring, hamstring, lunge, hamstring, hamstring. I think I did that wrong. Hamstring, hamstring, lunge. So there's three components here. Here's hamstring from the knee. Here's hamstring from just being on each foot. And then here's the lunge. So the point here is that hamstrings are not always enjoyable to stretch. And I did that on a video not too long ago. Did a nice little combination of things to loosen up the hamstrings. Well, these movements, don't think so much about, can I really just stretch that out? Just think about moving and flowing from one movement to the other. The hamstrings really will warm up. My hamstrings are quite warm right now. I'm probably fairly loose. This right here, when I'm cold, just hurts, putting my face down to my leg. And to be able to do that right now, it doesn't hurt at all because my legs are warm, mostly from repetition and flow. This idea of warming up before you stretch is something that I have rarely seen taught. People will say, stretch to warm up. If you will do a little bit of movement to warm up, then you will want to stretch. If you want to stretch, your muscles will feel great. They will begin to stretch, and you will enjoy stretching. But if you don't warm up before you stretch, stretching will hurt. You'll do it for a while, you won't stick with it, and then you'll quit. Stretching can be enjoyable if your muscles are warm. So body movement helps them to be warm. Don't see how much you can force stretching when you're doing body movement. Work on clean technique and flow, and your muscles will loosen up, and your stretch will be much more enjoyable. Again, we've worked on some things from our knees today. We've worked on the straight line, we worked on the 45, and we worked on the 90. We worked on some lunges, we worked on some toe touching, and we've worked on some combinations of all of those. So I hope you've gotten a few ideas from this video today regarding things you can do just sitting here on your knees, working on your balance and your stretching and movement. And please feel free to give me your ideas in the comments below. I'd love your like, and always I'd love for you to subscribe, as we will be doing these daily, most days of the week, to be able for the rest of our lives to do body movement for life. John Archer, see you next time. Thank you.